Burgundy, or Moses Cleveland's Canterbury Tales, line 2747. Like sleepwalking, but by the day, compulsive feasting, but in play, like zombies daywalking, for to observe, though similar but not quite right, what apnea indeed to slight, in liminal spaces, hunger for to serve. The allegory lost on some, literal minds with thus be done, what master served with literal presence be. He yet to kneel before the trolls, though in his mind no question posed, within their stomachs best he served them be. Of wishes careful thus to make, in considerations, nay of late, the dragon and its minions, ere to court, dismembered and indeed be late, its minions' reigns no slack to take, thus unleashed what minions nay to thwart. And Janus thus, but for to meet his destiny, he ere to greet, for thus unfettered by the dragon be, what traces lost on dragon spawn, by chaos slowly thus be drawn, but bathing in ineptitude fastly. But bathing in ineptitude, what telling tethers thus withdrew, what angles echoing expedience, what angles echoed to console, what presence lapse indeed be droll, what monkeys flying lacking indeed credence. Nay, to abide indeed be bold, no backup lurking in the fold, favors called but from the dragon proper, who unbeknownst to he was slain, what regents nary for to reign, what bottled gin to linger, with no stopper. The dragon's minions to oblige, kaleidoscope to coincide, what tender victuals thus indeed to love, what hunger thus indeed beset, drooling Janus nay to abet, dragged and gagged he pushed, but nay to shove. What water for to drink the horse, dehydrate doom and sans discourse, for want of water, nay he for to drown in water, not to drink, a genius he, of he did think, by lesser status though he was renowned. By lesser status indeed crass, he known to be but quite an ass, in bondage dragged and gagged, to tag along, but dragged and gagged he thus be bound, what trolls about to be unfound, what scruples mortgaged, wedded to be wrong, what missed to lapse, indeed the day, with cordage slack again to play, what cordage slack to draw and for to wind, what slack thus drawn but for to find, a wagging tail and viper's hind, a wagging tail before the gnome to find. But as of yet to no avail, though viper's nose has yet to fail, the belt and backpack of the gnome, for he, her pack impaled upon some thorns, for to escape what straps be shorn, she put to chase, for thus it would but be. She put to chase, it would appear, she lost within the misty drear, or had she run but simply out of fear? Catania pulled her backpack down, freed from the thorns where it be found, with hope Sabrina still indeed be near. With hope affirmed by viper's tail, what sent to know indeed be hail, again the slack to draw by wolf-sire dew, again the slack for he to draw, she startled by a raven's caw, no omen fell, the dragon bid adieu. No other day but for to want, the dragon thus indeed begot, but perished he, indeed no wolf-clothes sheep, or raven proxy to waylay, fell omens wrought to lead astray, in raven's form disaster for to reap. She startled thus but reassured, no raven foe to be inured, 'twas no worm in raven's guise, be sure. What bird can't on the wing but be, but from the raven nay to see, of sigils, glyphs, and wards, nay trolls endure. What aether's vest to guide the gnome, who ran in fear from haven home, the raven canted an apology. For harm to none and mote it be, the gnome in fear but ran from she, the witch Cassandra of the swamp but be. The wayward gnome but ran in fear, her lizard's tongue and heart so dear, and cast aside salvation for to guide. Catania she for to divest, of legacy estate to rest, such treachery the swamp nay to abide. A mote of time, and thus to warn what feller fate indeed be shorn, but wary be but of the gnome nay late. Your wish thus granted, be it known, alive you will but find the gnome, but good intent to guide the hand of fate. The mists of time, but by design, but in the moment mote to find, but blind indeed the light of faith to guide, and halfway thus indeed be met, and blood to be yet to be let, but by your will and hand for to abide. By raven sang what twitter tweet, by bird can't fate ere yet to greet, the raven's kiss a blessing to receive. The raven's kiss but for to know, a blessing some indeed forego, but spurned indeed by those who would deceive. 61026. Thanks for listening. Love you all. Have a good day. More to come. It was 2786. So on 61026.